Hey, what's up, everyone? Good morning. We're gonna wake up with some Sonic Lost World on 3DS here today. Um, this is a game that very few people play, that even are big fans of Sonic games. It's kind of strange. Does a lot of weird gimmicks. Sometimes it feels like a Sonic game, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's the best Sonic game ever, sometimes it's the worst. It's really a game of highs and lows. But this category, all speed stages, we're going to get to run through all the levels in the game, new game plus style setting, so you get to see some really cool routes that you wouldn't see in any percent. And without further ado, I'm going to count us down here to begin. In 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so Sonic Lost World was released in 2013 for the Wii U and 3DS. It was part of a 3-game deal that Sega had with Nintendo at the time to make games exclusively for the Wii U. So this game included Sonic Lost World, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Oops, I missed a thing. Let me reset real quick. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Sonic Lost World, and Sonic Boom. 2 of those games have gone on to be a little more controversial, and then one of them was Sonic Boom. So yeah, this game, maybe not the best circumstances to release under, but I still think it's a really good game. This game received somewhat of a renaissance back in 2021 because speedrunner Emerald was playing it casually on his stream, and it caused several runners, including a guy named Gordon Ramsay, who people might know for running Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic 06 at I forget which GDQ it was, but he took an interest in this game, made a Discord for it, and then the rest was history from there. So we've all been on this game for a while, and I picked up 3DS myself for fun back in September of 2021. It became like a game that I am now forever associated with, intractably so. It's nice to have your niche, and Sonic Lost World 3DS is mine. So I'll talk a little bit about the game here, but one thing you'll notice is that wisps are back. So in this particular level, normally we don't have this wisp. Because we're in a new game plus style setting, we get wisps from later levels that allow us to unlock different routes. And it's slightly faster to use Asteroid Wisp there than to actually jump that gap. And that's one example of a new game plus style route you're going to see in this. And then another big thing in this game is Sonic's movement. So he's capable of running on walls. Oop, hang on, that's a difficult spin dash. Running on walls whenever he wants to, as long as you have enough speed going into the wall. Which is slightly easier than the console version, where you need to always be holding RT in order to run up a wall. Very confusing stuff. But that's the first level right there, Windy Hill Zone 1. So one thing about this game is that there are 3 styles of level. There is a 2D, there's fixed cam 3D, and there's free cam 3D. The first area, Windy Hill, has no free cam. So we have 2 fixed cam levels, and this is the second one, Windy Hill Zone 2. You'll notice there's a bit of a Mario motif in this game. The game is very blocky designed, and the first level is grassland straight into an underground level, and generally it uses a lot of Mario style levels. So this game is very Mario based for a Sonic game, I think. It was also partially developed by Nintendo, so that makes sense. At least the console version was. So, should talk about it. There are 2 versions of this game. We're playing the 3DS version, but there is a console version. They play similarly. They both have this kind of moveset for Sonic where he's capable of running on walls. But what makes it more difficult and different is that the 3DS version kind of runs off of a more simplified engine of the console controls. The console controls are very wacky. You're using both triggers. One of them one trigger is purely to spin dash, one is to run on walls. You're alternating between them a lot. One thing you're going to see between both, though, is that there's an infinite spin dash feature in this game. So by charging up the spin dash, releasing it, and then holding the spin dash button immediately afterwards, we're capable of keeping the spin dash going for the entire, as long as we hold it, basically. We can even run into walls or double jump and we won't lose it. And that's really cool compared to console, because in console you actually lose your spin dash after double jumping. Alright. Cool jump there. There's a lot of movement in this game where if you're confident with your spin dash, you can really get around some game created barriers. All right, so one thing you'll notice, all of the levels are kind of like separated by loading zone sections. And so you go through like these big springs will always take you from loading zone to loading zone. Usually, and you'll notice it with the first level, you're always going from like a 3D section to a 3D section or like a 2D section to a 2D section. Although in the first level, we did switch from a 3D perspective to a 2D perspective. But that is the only time that happens in the game. All right, this ending, we got a really cool ending for this level coming up, but it's very difficult. So let's see if we can get it. All right, we need to do a bunch of jumps here. Nice. Very good time. That part's difficult. Those are tap jumps on very small platforms. So you have like very little room for error. You need to jump as soon as you land, basically. The spin dash moves very fast once it lands. All right, Windy Hill Zone 3. This is one of my favorite stages in the game, and a level that I've put a disgusting amount of hours into to IL because of how much fun it is. The thing about this level... Oh! Need to get back up there. Oh, okay. We just need to do a quick spin dash jump up here. Oh, no. Okay, I just need to reset the stage real quick. Unfortunately, we took a lower path. One thing about this game is that there are huge pits you can fall into that cause you to lose a ton of time just by being in them. It's going to be faster just to reset by encountering a pit sometimes than to actually take the path. See, like right there, we've already jumped over it, and we're well past the path that we would have accidentally been on. And here, we're actually skipping a small boss fight there by using a laser over his trigger. That's something that I found by digging through old forum comments from like 2015 for this game. Because, you know, there isn't a lot of collective knowledge for games. One, this recent, because this came out in 2013. And two, this isn't one of the most popular Sonic games. And we're playing the handheld version of one of the not very popular Sonic games. So you can imagine there just hasn't been a ton done with this game. I was really, as far as I know, I was the first person to be able to produce capture card footage of it, which is really cool. And we just skipped another boss by lasering straight over the trigger. And we're already into the final section of the level. People who've played this level are probably very frustrated because there's like a very slow 30-second boss that we've skipped twice. And we're going to skip him a third time if all goes well. Want to avoid certain paths here, put us into weird Mobius strips where Sonic like kind of just gets stuck in a loop for a second. Got to hop over a big pit there, hop over a spring so that we take the fastest possible spring. All right, we're coming up on the third boss skip here. This one's different than the others. We don't have laser. Instead, we have to do this. Oh no! We missed it. That's okay. Now we get to see what we missed real quick. So what would have happened there is that like I try to go for what we call a spin hop, which is this thing where I cancel a spin dash straight into a jump, which gives you a ton of forward horizontal momentum. It's really, really useful to like go from 0 to 100 in terms of speed. And by doing a spin hop and a quick double jump on a ledge there, I'm capable of skipping this fight. But I missed it. That's okay. That's about a 30-second loss. This guy is rude like that. It's not even like a boss fight because we're not really fighting him. He's just throwing things at us, and we avoid them, and then we end the level. All right, so that's Windy Hill Zone 3. That's a really fast and frantic stage, one of my favorites. Minor flashing lights warning for the next level. Only a minor one, but just a fair warning. We'll be using a Wisp power-up here that causes a small flashing effect. But this level, Windy Hill Extra, so the game has several extra zones that you normally wouldn't play in like any percent. Hang on one second. Because you have to unlock them by collecting all the red rings in an area to unlock its extra zone. But luckily with this run, we're able to go through them all. Oh, get up there. Okay. Then I'm holding A here so I get an explosion. Nice. All right, this is... so we're using the Burst Wisp here, which makes this level very trivial. So we're just going to be flying over most of the stage here. The Burst Wisp, you'll notice there's these like water... bags of water that are sitting in the air. If the Burst Wisp touches those, you lose Burst. So we're trying to avoid them as much as possible. And Burst recharges whenever you touch those lava plumes. So it's really useful. plan out your burst route by first jumping on the lava and then figuring out where to go from there, especially because of the height. All right, so now we're just going to float to the end here. Burst is a handheld-only Wisp and has been for its entire existence. I think it exists in Forces now, though. But Burst has been in mostly like Colors DS, Generations 3DS, this, until it was in Sonic Forces. All right, starting up on the next area. Desert Ruins Zone 1. This is a really fun stage, really cool 3D level. Has some difficult movement in it, and this was the first actual introduction of the Asteroid Wisp, which you guys saw back in Windy Hill 1. We have to use it way more here, though, so you're going to get used to it. The Asteroid Wisp kind of just, like, eats everything it can and just, like, absorbs it into the asteroid. You'll notice that it has, like, two distinct forms. First, it kind of looks like a little Saturn planet, and then after you gain enough items, it kind of looks like a vortex. When it's in vortex form, you're capable of basically eating through any obstacle, including these tornadoes. This game, for some reason, has a strange relationship with tornadoes, where the Wisps constantly have attacks to counter tornadoes. And in this one, we're just going to eat the tornadoes. Quite an unforgettable luncheon. And Asteroid, has a very slow descent, so you can use Asteroid to cross big gaps. But we're about to run out of Asteroid, and this is one of my favorite movement sections with 3D Sonic here. We need to avoid the darker colored sand because that is quicksand and will slow us down. It won't kill us, but it will slow us down, and might as well kill us at that point. All right, these platforms sink as soon as you touch them, and so do these ones. All right, nice. So we're going to take a nice auto run section here real quick. This game, you'll notice, is just absolutely full of rings. Some later levels, we're going to get literally hundreds of rings in the path of the direct speed run. The developers of this game definitely expected you to die a lot. There are checkpoints everywhere. Oh, and that jump, to steal a name from the Sonic 06 community, we call that clench jump, just because you're kind of jumping over a slightly large gap. The kill plane is way closer than you think it is. You are just barely not touching the kill plane there. So yeah, we borrow some nomenclature from the Sonic 06 community, call that clench jump, because of how nerve-wracking it can be. Although these days I don't think much about it. As time goes on with this game, you learn to be really confident with your spin dash, and jumps get easier over time, I've noticed. These higher speed jumps, especially as I've gotten better controlling spin dash. So this section, we're just literally running through the tornadoes with vortex form, trying to avoid a worm that's trying to eat us. There are these Tim Burton-looking worms that pop out of the walls. They're also in the console version. Gotta just barely avoid them here, and I'm double jumping to get all the way up on the wall. Wait for a big one to show up. Nice. All right. Almost a good time until he bounced there, but still good. Yeah, very good. That's a good Desert Ruins Zone 1. So Desert Ruins in console has some of the more varied environments in it, despite it being the desert, because you have the desert level, then there's a level where you're running through some honeycombs, and then there's a level where you're in desert, and they sneakily add an extra S into the name desert, into Desert Ruins. But in this game, Desert Ruins is all desert, all ruins, all the time. So this level takes over a section from console where you kind of go inside of a pyramid. And there's a lot of puzzle solving in this level, but luckily, because we're in New Game Plus, we have the Drill Wisp, who normally is not available. That's going to allow us to skip like every puzzle in this level, basically. And that was a spin hop slope jump right there to get up there. But now we have drill, and so normally you can't do this in like any percent, but we are skipping so much stuff here with the drill. We now no longer have to do anything, like multiple puzzles. But in case you're wondering what kind of puzzles we skip, it's a lot of stuff where you need to you have these moving blocks, like the one under Sonic here. They follow your every movement, and you need to knock them out while they're on a switch so that you're capable of getting to the next section. It's not fun, and it's annoying to speedrun sometimes. Oh, that's funny. Sonic's body hit that. I meant to hit this. All right, and then we're going to... So you'll notice that Sonic has a bounce attack in this game. By pressing Y, it's like SA2. You know, he has a bounce attack, and by doing it twice, he gains like the max height he can possibly gain off of it. Nice. And I forget what I was talking about. Oh, the bounce attack. The bounce attack, though, the thing about it is that it'll help you drop down a little bit faster in the air, but you bounce when you land. So it's kind of like you can use it to fall faster, but only in a scenario where you're able to cancel it immediately upon landing, which is what we did with the drill wisp there. Oh, that's funny. Okay, this level, normally a really long level casually, super quick level in the speed run. This is the only level in the game that's less than a minute long. Nice. Okay, that's difficult to maneuver under that guy's laser right there. Turning the camera so I can immediately go back. And then Sonic grabs this ledge. And you can do a double jump and then just skip any required combat there. Then jump on this guy's head. And as it would turn out, it takes you straight to the end of the level. And that's the only level that can be done in 30 seconds. All right, we got one more stage left in Desert Ruins here, and it's a very funny one. So a big thing about this game that we haven't experienced yet is there's a lot of gyro integration because it's on 3DS. One of the main ways they've integrated it is this wisp, the Quake Wisp. I'm actually controlling this by moving the 3DS left and right in the real world. I can only make it go faster by holding the R button to make it like run faster. But I have to turn left and right by turning the 3DS in reality, which is just very not fun sometimes. Although with this particular level, it's not bad, but it can be difficult to control this thing in a free cam stage, which you'll see later on. So this level, another extra stage here, has a lot of combat where you need to roll over tornadoes to kill them. Because again, this game has a very strange relationship with tornadoes. We need to avoid... And we need to kill all the tornadoes to move to the next section. And they're all set up in such a specific way. And there's a lot of warps that take you back to certain parts of the level. So this was actually a nightmare to route. It took a long time to find the fastest route through that section. And I'm not even sure that's the fastest, but I was saying earlier, I've been one of the main runners for this game and the only major runner for about the several years I've been playing it. And so it's difficult because I have to do a lot of theory crafting on my own or just whenever somebody else is able to think of something. So if you think you have a cool idea for this game out there, you should try speedrunning it because we could use more runners. That part right there is actually really difficult to control the wisp on. So nice. Okay, so I'm going to try to do a cool little jump here. By jumping at the very peak of a block, the Quake Wisp was able to jump over these spikes. It saves just a tiny bit of time each time you do it. Very tiny, but it's cool because it's tech with the Quake Wisp, which is I didn't think we had that. And I'm also going to be skipping required combat here by taking the top route. This skips a bunch of combat, so now we only need to fight these worms at the end here. And I'm literally just going to be doing this. And if I just keep doing this blindly enough, it should end up killing all the worms. Okay, it looks like I just barely missed them, so I need to go back. This is what I was talking about, the warps that take you back to the beginning area of the stage a little bit. There's a bunch of those. All right, that killed them both. All right. Nice. Minor time loss, but we're out of Desert Ruins. All right, well, that was a hot desert we were just in, so we need to cool off by the beach. So we're going to head to Tropical Coast next. Tropical Coast is actually the first introduction in the game of the Drill Wisp, and it's used extensively in this level. This is also where we introduce underwater in this game. It's basically the same as normal physics, except extremely floaty, and obviously you die if you grab a water bubble fast enough in true Sonic fashion. All right, so this is our Drill Wisp. Very useful underwater, helps us speed straight through enemies, and we're going to be trying to maximize our time underwater with it as much as possible because there's a lot of stuff that is just gotten from the drill wisp. There's a lot of like special pipes that only the drill wisp can go through and stuff that save a lot of time in this level. Nice. Spin dash off the falling thing right into the drill wisp. That's good tech. This level was very confusing to learn at first just because of how much you spend underwater with the drill. And then, wait, we need to grab one more drill wisp here. Okay, that was something. Okay, interesting note. So whenever you try to do a bounce attack while having a homing attack target available, Sonic will actually, instead of bouncing, do like this Sonic Boom style kick that will usually stun the enemy or something. It's usually used for stunning enemies. And it's a move that was later transferred over to Frontiers of all games. So if you've seen the Sonic Boom kick in Frontiers, it originated from Sonic Lost World. Oh. Oh, that's okay. You have very limited time to make that. So that if the drill runs out, you just got to quickly kill the enemy. But luckily, that's a minor mistake. Again, it took forever to learn all the routes in this level, and there's just so many of these little drill pipes you have to know about that give you just enough speed to keep making it to the next part of the area. All right, now we're going to lose drill on purpose, and now you got some very funky gravity in this part of the level. I call this gravity jump because by the game switching gravity just happens to let that happen. You gain a ton of speed while the gravity is switching, and so yeah, you get to skip those two little planetoids there. You notice this is kind of like a Mario Galaxy style game. There's a lot of like weird gravity and these little planetoids that Sonic likes to run around on a lot. A lot of people remember this as like the Mario Galaxy Sonic game, which is fair. It definitely looks a lot like it. Right, we need to grab one more wisp here for some combat. The nice thing about the drill wisp, they're these big like bird robots that you just bounce into twice with a drill wisp, and you kill them really quickly. But the drill wisp is not able to touch the ending level capsule, so you have to like let the wisp run out before hitting the capsule. But that's Tropical Coast Zone 1. All right, this next level is maybe one of the most unorthodox things they've ever done in a Sonic game. This level relies a lot on the mechanic of pushing apples into a giant fan. And lots of combat surrounding that. But luckily, we actually get a cool skip here that's only possible in New Game Plus. So, I'm serious. We are just pushing apples into their respective spots. And then once we have them, we go back here, push them into the fan, and then the platforms rise because this all fills up with apple juice. It's very, very, I mean, it's creative, but I don't like this level very much. But you'll see there's some cool stuff here with combat manipulation. So one thing that we're able to do is that certain enemies will damage Sonic if you try to homing attack them directly. But if they're in a homing attack chain and they aren't the first enemy, you can actually, like Sonic has invulnerability after the first enemy. So you can use that to attack enemies that would normally hurt you from a homing attack in a homing attack chain, and then you're still able to freely attack them. Ooh, just waiting for the spikes to move down there. So we just grabbed the electric wisp here. We're going to be using that in a minute. That's a new wisp for this game. That's a 3DS only wisp that lets you you hang onto these like a little electric peg things. You'll see in a second. I just got to do this combat circle real quick. Oh no! Okay, that's not good. We're unfortunately just going to have to finish the level normally because I can't do the skip now. But first we have to fall all the way down in the apple juice. And then hit the spring, which unfortunately the camera is being very mean right there. All right, that's unfortunate. So we lost Electric Wisp by hitting the apple juice. So that's about like a couple seconds of loss there. Normally you can go straight to the end of the level from there. But luckily I know any percent. So we're able to do the other route, which is pushing some extra apples to the fan. Yeah, unfortunately, missed the Electric Wisp there, but not a big deal. Need to move that. Yeah, unfortunately you have to break these, and it's way faster to like spin dash through them than homing attack them, because homing attacking causes Sonic to like do like, you know, he does an animation up in the air, and that wastes time. So you want to spin dash through those. And we need to grab one more apple over here. This area reminds me a lot of Pikmin for some reason, kind of like the perplexing pool or something. But just like gathering these giant apples. And then I'm gonna grab. So it's about to become Sonic Heroes. The invincibility theme in this game is just the Sonic Heroes theme for some reason. And for that matter, the speed up theme is Reach for the Stars. A lot of weird stuff like that. I'm getting this because we need to fight an egg pawn here, which people who play Sonic Heroes will recognize. Egg pawns are actually like the strongest enemy in the game, if you can believe it. They take a fully charged homing attack to kill, which is like really difficult to deal with. All right, we had to grab some extra apples there, but that's okay. Tropical Coast Zone 2, you guys got to see the full experience. Now, Tropical Coast Zone 3 is another one of my least favorite levels in the game because they made a huge mistake here, and that mistake is 3D drill. The drill has always been a 2D-centric wisp, and in this game they gave you a 3D variant of it that controls like butter on ice. It's awful. It's like so I'm avoiding like moving up or down and moving from neutral at all. I move left or right with the D-pad to angle it, but I try to avoid moving like up or down as much as I can, because the moment you move up or down, you lose your angle and the entire thing is messed up. Hang on, 1 second. Skip. Nice. So that skips going underwater completely. We're able to just go on top of the level now. That's a really precise jump by bouncing off the drill wisp capsule. That's a difficult skip. That's always one I'm nervous about, so it's nice to hit it. All right, so we're going to hold out running as long as we can here. And then activate the drill so that we can head into this tornado. Now, I like to call it, like, we're in the cyclone here, but I just call this the toilet bowl section because it looks like a giant flushing toilet bowl. We're just going straight up with the wisp here, trying to avoid spikes wherever possible. You might notice, but this section kind of lags. This lags the most of most things you'll see on this game, probably because of just so much garbage on screen at once. All right, so we're in an auto run section here, so we're just gonna take a tight spiral to save some time. But we need to worry. There's a drill wisp capsule we need to get here that's gonna help us in the next section, and they put it right next to a spike ball to try to be tricky. But getting that drill wisp capsule in the auto run actually skips all the combat here. So it's like a developer intended skip, which is difficult because you have to know it's there and you have to be ready for it. And it's not super easy to grab because it's right next to a spike ball. All right, so we're gonna try to, whoop, oh, he might die here, that's okay. Okay, I think I can, let's see if we can wall run. Nope, okay, so he's just gonna die. That's fine. All right, so this is the combat I was talking about skipping. Luckily, if you just like homing attack these electric balls, it'll insta-kill all the birds you have to fight in this section anyway. Never fun to deal with, but that's what we gotta do sometimes. This is what we were missing before, for reference. No, oh. Please get the... That's okay. All right. Back to our regularly scheduled drill here. That's fine. So what happened last time, basically, is that, like, in this section, there's a drill wisp you can get... Okay, there we go. I get depth perception out of that drill constantly. It's super hard to see coming once the camera changes. But we got it now, so we're past it. Minor mistake. Tropical Coast is full of stuff like that, like really potentially big time losses if things go wrong. We want to take the left path here. So a secret about this path is that as long as you never adjust your angle up or down, you will always make it through these rings. And those rings actually push you back instead of push you forward, so you don't want to hit those air dash rings. They're actually a nuisance. So be careful of those. All right, another toilet bowl section here to end the level. We're going straight up, trying to just grab drill wisps on our way up and avoid spike balls. In this section, you can really see the game lagging. This is some of the most I've seen the game lag is in this cyclone. Because again, there's just so much garbage on screen at once. All right, nice. That's Tropical Coast Zone 3. All right, we got one more stage left in Tropical Coast, and this time we get to use the Electric Wisp again in a stage filled with water, which means that if we cannot go anywhere near the water, we lose the Electric Wisp. This one is kind of interesting. So you'll notice that these stages reuse layout from other levels that we've previously been to, but they just fill it with spike balls, because that's usually Sega's idea of a challenge. So we're Electric Wisp now. We need to avoid these, sacks of water. Okay, and just one more to avoid here. Nice. All right, now we have Electric Wisp combat. So the Electric Wisp has a huge AoE on attacks. So if you attack an enemy close to Electric Wisp, you actually get an extra bit of attack out. So you kind of want to be angling it so that you're attacking enemies near other enemies. Oh, I didn't think I grabbed that. Oh! I love when he does that. So those electric balls tend to eat your jump. That's what just happened there. All right, there we go. That's what I needed to do there. Not a big deal. All right, so I need to mash the button here to prevent the Electric Wisp falling in the water. And now we're going to go bowling. Nice. All right, this is a cool section right here. So we're just jumping through this section as Electric Wisp, trying to avoid all the obstacles and losing Electric Wisp. Oh, like that. That's okay. Okay, so I can do something funny here. All right, watch this back up. That's the kind of thing you can only get by knowing the movement really well. You have to know that you can run on that part of the wall, and you have to know that you have to switch to the left in order to make that wall faster. So that's just that's with time. There's so much about this game that's just I feel like I've just learned it in ways it's just from so many years of playing. This is stuff theory crafting and movement and stuff that you just don't get until you've played it for a while. And that was the best combat I've ever had right there. Oh my god. All right, really good. Okay, so we're out of Tropical Coast, and now we're about to hit Frozen Factory. Now, Frozen Factory is where I think most people have given up on this game casually, because these levels are not fun casually. However, FF1 and FF2 are my two favorite levels, at least in the first half of the game. This level is so much fun. There's a lot of sick movement here. Also the only level where you get the snowboard, so that's cool. The way you use snowboard is that you can jump to maintain extra speed that you get from these ramps. So you jump on a ramp and then do a trick to gain extra speed, and then by jumping again, you preserve that speed slightly longer, but only slightly. We should hit the spring at about 28.26 seconds, yeah. That's a really consistent section. All right, this is actually the first stage to give us the Electric Wisp in console. And you can see there's a bunch of stuff they want us to do with it here. We're just going to skip past that because it's way faster to just avoid it. All right. And we just skipped one extra enemy there. Okay. This is really sick right here. So they want you to solve some kind of puzzle or something. I don't know. We just run around the wall. I didn't even know you could do that, but it's amazing. All right, this movement is awesome. And those icy blasts we're avoiding, Freeze Sonic, they're really annoying. You have to avoid those at all costs. All right, 115 spring is awesome check. All right, let's keep going. These are insta-kill gears. If you touch them, it's insta-kill at any point on the sides. You can jump through the middle and touch the middle, but that's it. All right, my friend Electric Wisp combat here. So enemies just touch you and they die. I'm taking the safe route here, which is to take the loop. Oh, okay, no problem. That's a really minor time loss here. This homing attack was really hard to get out sometimes. That's okay. Oh, okay. This time we got it. There we go. First try. Yeah, it was literally just so we could make it to that ledge. And then now we're back to snowboarding. This snowboarding section, is like, you don't really get to see it because we're going to be going through the fastest path. But this section is huge horizontally. It like, the way that the 2D levels all branch out, like in like top and bottom directions, like for miles, it does the same thing in this, but for like left and right direction. It's huge. Oh, we just barely avoided insta-kill gear. All right, so now we're going to reach for the stars again because there is a speed capsule here, which makes it very hard to control. This took a long time before I was able to even finish the level with the full speed that you get from this. It's so slippery. It's really hard to describe unless you've experienced it, but it is extremely slippery. And the springs are tiny here, so you just got to be very confident that you're going to run straight into them. Nice. All right, we're just about out of here. All right, that's Frozen Factory 1. That is absolutely one of my favorite levels. It's so cool. But okay, Frozen Factory 2. This is a big lock-in level for me. So I'm gonna go for it. This is a quick 2D stage with a lot of tight platforming. We get to use the laser here to make it a lot faster. It's gonna be fun. So we grab a laser at the very beginning and then jump straight out of it into a slope jump. And then we need to take the very top rail here. And then we're going to bounce bracelet down here because we're actually going to land straight onto a thing which cancels it. Into this elevator, which we don't actually have to wait on. Oh yeah, I love that part. Those spin dashes down the ledge are so cool. We're actually going to reverse spin dash off this wall because there's a laser right behind us, and because it's actually faster. There's something blocking you. And then normally we have to climb this mountain here, but because we have laser, we can go straight through it. All right, and now we need to... Nice. We need to have a lot of speed going into that wall or he won't run up it. So we're actually skipping a horizontal elevator here by just being fast. Nice. That level is so much fun. Now, for all the fun we just had, we're about to tank it all. I think what people hate about this game is this level. Frozen Factory 3. So the thing about this level is that, much like apple pushing, they thought we really needed a really slow puzzle level. So instead of apple pushing, we're pushing snowballs. And you can't just push them, you have to make them really big so that they fit in the like very specific sizes of like snowball like hole over here. So I need to just roll this around for a second to make it real big so that I can go on, because we need to get 3 snowballs into place in order to move to the next section. Because that unlocks a snowball down on the main platform, which you then use to unlock more platforms to go to. It's just awesome. This is where I think most people have stopped playing the game casually. It's amazing if you can get through it, because even with the snowballs being really annoying, there's going to be like an enemy that chases you through this level that we're going to experience in a second. So it's like, not only do you have all this really annoying puzzle solving with the snowballs, but there's also like a cosmic, galaxy cosmic clone style enemy that chases you through the whole level. I'm gonna hit that checkpoint for safety. All right, the snowball head's gonna follow us for the rest of the level, and you can't get away from it. But one nice thing is that because we're in New Game Plus, we have the Quake Wisp, which lets us skip a ton of movement here So we can skip like some really annoying stuff. And you can just see like the snowball just keeps respawning behind us. All right, this section is all Mario Galaxy combat on this little planet here. And, okay, I've been playing this game for almost 3 years, and I still struggle to remember the layout of this little planet. It's really, really confusing. And, okay, the snowball will freeze us, but they also mimic every movement we make, and we need the snowball to hit that switch. So I hit that switch like 40 times in order to trick the snowball into doing the same thing. I'm just going to hit the snowball so that it stands still for a little bit. Okay, cool. That's all the enemies there. All right, that's the most annoying section done. And now we have... okay, so egg pawns take a fully charged homing attack to kill, but if you make an egg pawn part of a chain where you've already initiated a fully charged homing attack, you don't actually have to worry about the fully charged. They'll just die because you're initiated a fully charged chain. Okay, so we actually got a skip in this level a few years ago that we're about to do. And it's, I love it. It's really silly. So first we need to stop the snowball from bothering us. We push the snowball into the corner. Oh, hang on. This needs to be directly in this corner. Oh, snowball. Rude. All right, I need to go grab another snowball real quick so that we can clip through. The snowball, unfortunately, got rid of ours. That's okay. Minor mistake. Unfortunately, this is just how good that extra snowball is. Okay. So push this into the corner. Stop this guy in his trap. Oh, he froze me. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to jump into this corner with the snowball here. And... just give it a second. He's going to fall. And we're out of bounds. We just fall straight to the end of the level. It's amazing. There's no kill plane to stop you. Yeah, that was found by Miles Tails Prower, somebody who doesn't even run this game, but just like showed up in the Discord and was like, hey, look at this. And then they left. Shows up, gives a big skip, doesn't elaborate, leaves. I love it. So, Frozen Factory Extra here. This is like the easiest of the extra stages. This one is all asteroid all the time. So we're literally just going to be running through pine trees and eating them and trying to hit all the speed pads that we can to just make this fast. But this is like the most simple of these extra stages in terms of just like things you're doing. Because we're just dashing ahead. And then we need to make sure we hit all of these. You have to be fully charged asteroid, you aren't able to get through the big spike balls. The only way to get through those is by being the fully charged asteroid. So yeah, this level was basically just get fully charged asteroid and then just go and run as fast as you can with it and take it through the entire level. If you lose asteroid, you lose the full charge, and so the next time you get it, you have to recharge. So, obviously we don't want to lose asteroid. So, there's a strategic capsule right there. Even though it looked like I was about to run out, I was never in danger. I had everything under control. And you'll notice people with a keen eye might recognize this as the snowboard section from Frozen Factory 1, except, you know, they did that Sega extra stage thing where they just filled it with spike balls, and they called it a day. So that's basically what's happening here. Yeah, so we're actually, the kill plane is really low, so we're going to go under the stage here to hit these air dash rings. And then this will recharge our asteroid. And we're nearly at the end of the stage. They really don't want you to take these rails. Asteroid will get hurt by taking the rails because they're like full of electric hazards. That's the only way asteroid gets hurt is electric hazards. We just run through everything and land on the capsule. Sonic is right on the edge of there. It's really funny. All right. Next area is Silent Forest. This has some really awesome stages and one not so awesome one. But first, we're going to start with the awesome one. This level's really cool. This is our free cam 3D stage for the area. I actually had control of Sonic during the cutscene where the flower opened, so I was still holding forward and running during that section. You'll see that again later, too. We have control of Sonic during those little cutscenes. Now, this will look familiar to people that have played Frontiers. Fun little free fall sections. This is actually the stage to introduce Quake Wisp in the normal story, so there's actually a little bit of Quake we have to deal with here. But we can skip a lot with Spin Dash here. Okay, so this next jump is sick. We call it God Jump because you just skip so much of the level just by doing that. We just skipped like this entire area's worth of puzzle solving by just a couple jumps. And I had control over Sonic in the cutscene there, so I was immediately able to homing attack the flower while I was off screen. Only way to move faster through this section is to avoid bouncing on clouds and hit all of the air dash rings. But to avoid bouncing on clouds is a little annoying. You don't have full range of motion while falling at full speed. So you have to like let go of full speed in order to completely maneuver. And we skip the puzzle solving here with a nice little spin dash jump again. All right, now we've got to fight there are these giant cannon turtles that we need to fight here. In the console version, they refer to the turtles as Yuji Naka. I don't know why, but yeah, we have to fight 4 Yuji Nakas here in order to proceed. And, okay, nice. Whoop. Turn around, please. Isn't it awesome when you have gyro? I just love gyro controls. All right, we're just gonna fall to the capsule here. That was Silent Forest 1. This is such a cool stage. I like that this game returned to breaking a capsule at the end. It was a nice little throwback to the old Sonic days, because this game is like a weird mixture of modern and classic. Okay, bar none, this is my favorite stage in the game right here. This is a near 4-minute stage that I have put hundreds of hours into just to save like 2 seconds. I love this stage. It's really, really difficult, but there's some excellent movement and just like some really, really cool stuff as long as we can hit it. All right, so first things first, we're gonna grab the middle rail here so that we can get an invincibility, which allows us to kill all of these, I forget what they're called, but these mantis enemies. Those are enemies that you can't just kill with a homing attack. They hurt you to attack. You have to wait for them to attack or you have to stun them. So getting the thing here saves us a lot of time. Now we have to kill these 4 chickens in cannons on the rails. Nice. Or 3 chickens, rather. Because that will open up an electric wisp capsule for us to the left here. And we can use this electric wisp capsule to skip combat here. So this level has a ton of skips that aren't like skips, but they're like, if you knew about a certain capsule that's hidden in a specific spot, you can use it to skip all kinds of stuff. And now we just need to stay on these rails, avoid being crushed. Do not, and I repeat, do not try to switch rails before you've become regular Sonic out of electric. Because if he turns back into regular Sonic mid-rail switch, you die. That's just what happens. So I learned that the hard way. I always wait for electric to run out before switching rails. Also, we just got a lot of rings. If you check the count, we're currently at 374. If I do it right, we'll have a 999 to finish the stage without slowing down. All right, this is my favorite section right here. The movement in this section is really difficult, really, really fun. And there's a ton of micro optimizations that you don't get. Like, for the fact that I'm going around these walls and going onto the side, because normally they want you to run up the walls and then switch to the left. But if you're quick, you can jump around the wall and straight onto the part that would run forward instead of the part that runs up. Which is what I'm doing there. It's a micro optimization and it's really dangerous, but I love doing it. So I've just gotten used to it. And I found out this jump recently, but yeah, there's a homing attack you can do right there to skip more enemies. And then we're gonna do, another wall jump. Okay, there we go. And then electric wisp. And then, and then if by doing an AoE attack into the enemy next to that turtle, we're able to actually do 2 damage. The turtle normally takes 3 damage to kill. We're able to do 2 damage with an AoE attack next to him and then kill him with the next attack. That's another micro optimization that I found while just playing this level far too many times. And these rails are it's really confusing because all these levels have this like tubular design. You got to know exactly what the right one is because this level has like bottom and top areas that you have to avoid because there's certain paths that are faster on the bottom and certain paths that are faster on the top. All right, we're just going to be grinding on the rails to the end of the stage here. If you guys have played the console version, you know that there are 2 stages entirely made up of rails. This is kind of like those, but not really. We don't have a stage like that in this game. This is the closest that you get. This is if I'm right, this is the only level where you can really do anything with rails in 3D. Avoid that enemy. We need to stay on that rail and then switch over. And then I'm actually going to be avoiding the checkpoint and doing this. That's some dangerous movement there, but it's really fun. This game is full of that. Like, this game has really tricky, really unsafe movements in so many places, but my god, it is so much more fun to do that movement than to do the safe movement, so I always go for the risky. Alright, peep the ring count, by the way. 999. We did it. And I'm just going to mash A here to hit the capsule. 3:48.63 is an incredible time for not doing an IL strat that I don't there. That's sub 350 used to be the dream, and now it's like what I get. All right, that level was awesome. This level was awesome. This is, in my opinion, this is the final boss of 2D. This isn't the last 2D level, but this is by far the hardest. So first we're going to skip a spring that puts us into a Mobius loop there so that we're able to jump over a thing, and then you'll notice that we just did a loop skip by jumping straight through a rail loop. And then we have Laser Wisp here, which makes this level really fast. We don't normally have it. Also, you guys will recognize this level as the Owl stage from console, but luckily the Owl doesn't come into play until later, and he isn't as big of a nuisance as he is in the console version. Nice. I needed to wait for that rail, and then we get to do this little fun loop that you normally don't get to do. All right, let's see if we made the cycle. Nice. And it's so funny, he can just stand still in the air by repeatedly homing attacking. Oh. Okay, there we go. All right, we're going to skip an underground section by just double jumping onto the rail above it. It's really sick. I love that skip. Whoa! Oh my god! What did bro do? Okay, that looked like a major mistake, but it wasn't. We were supposed to get here anyway, but luckily, yeah, that all worked out. I've never seen the laser accidentally reverse there. That's really funny. That's okay. That's okay. Nothing happened. And we get to continue on. Gotta wait for these crusher cycles. This is the 132 cycle. This is good. You can make an even faster cycle, but I'd rather not try to do that live. It's IL only. The fastest possible cycle in this level is IL only. It is just an absolute nightmare. You have to do this laser super close to the diamond. One thing about the lasers in this game is that, like, in other Sonic games that have lasers, as long as you hit the diamond, you'll go into, like, a scripted laser. But in this game, if you hit the diamond, from too far back, Sonic won't have enough laser to make it through the laser diamond, and he'll just stop lasering halfway through the diamond, and he'll just die. So you have to laser super close to the diamonds if you don't want to die. It's such a weird thing in this game. All right, wait, tricky jump. Nice, nice. That is actually really hard there. Whoop, that's okay. So instead of killing you, the owl just makes the level slightly slower, that's fine. I will take that over dying. In the console version, he insta-kills you if he sees you. So, could be worse. Also, that was beautiful. That level is so difficult. The platforming is so tricky. Then the owl comes into play, making everything worse. And then laser, honestly, is really hard to deal with sometimes because you get backwards lasers by accident or something by just like holding the control stick not in the right way. So there's a lot that can go wrong in that stage. That was great. Minor flashing lights warning for this level. So we get the burst wisp again. So we're going to just be exploding everywhere. My phone alarm just went off. I had to turn it off while using burst. So we need to be careful here. Burst loves to hit these spikes. Okay, just make it to the island. Okay. And the thing about burst in this like weird 3D tube is that when you lose it, it's like the game doesn't really know where to place Sonic, so you really don't know where you're going to land if something goes wrong with burst in this like tube section. So I kind of have to avoid getting crazy amounts of height when I don't want it, because that'll end up hurting me more than helping me. This is bar none my least favorite level in the entire game. It's just like not a very fun challenge stage, and burst is just not a fun wisp. They needed to stop with burst the first time, and they just kept doing it, unfortunately. It's just like I never really got it. It's just like, okay, you explode and you fly. There's not that much to it otherwise. Okay, and then we hit that lava, so we recharge. Now we just have burst combat. Oh, what? Okay. That was really funny. That's what I mean about, like, if you lose burst while you have a lot of height, that happens. That's okay. That was a minor mistake. We're not too far back at all. But that's why, if you notice, like, I'm kind of waiting for a second. It's like I don't want to put myself in a position where I accidentally might hit these water things. All right, now we want to position ourselves so that we're like able to attack all these enemies with one explosion. And I want to grab a capsule behind me. You can't just hit switches with burst either. Like, burst, it's like really hard to maneuver on switches. It can't homing attack them, so burst has to like slow down and jump onto any switch that you press. And optimally, you're in burst for most of the level. Yeah, this level is full of not fun stuff like that. But that's okay, we're out of here. Nice. And we're out of Silent Forest. We're actually going to be heading into the last area of the game. The run is almost over. Oop, hit my mic. So, the final world in this game is Sky Road, which people will remember from console as kind of being recycled assets from Windy Hill, but in like a sky level. This time around, Sky Road is a casino. If you were wondering where the casino level is, the answer is here. This is also the first level in-game that introduces laser, so you actually don't get laser until the very end of the game. Which I think is interesting because in Colors, the original Colors, laser was like the first wisp, so it's always interesting to me when laser isn't like the first wisp. Just because I always expect it to be. And then this level is really hard to optimize because you have these spinning, like, gravity things that Sonic clings to. Okay. And, you know, ideally you can jump off immediately, but it's really hard to jump off at the right time and gain all the speed. So they're not super simple. So we need to get a horizontal and a vertical bingo here, so let's get our horizontal first. Wow, they really love bingo in Sonic games. Later on with the LTS later, you guys are going to see a lot of bingo from Sonic Heroes. And I would argue that's a much worse type of bingo. I think the Heroes runners would also argue that. The thing about this level is that if we fall, there are certain points that if we fall, it is so over, it's unbelievable. In terms of, like, we lost like 45 seconds just by falling. Because this level is massive vertically. You don't see it, but we're clearing tons of really dangerous pits every second that will drop us down into a much slower part of the level. So at all points, you're in danger of falling into the slow sections of the level. So, yeah. It's much more difficult than it looks to stay afloat, and this level in particular is very hard. So we only need a vertical bingo here. That was very good. All right, we need to take the top rail, and then we need to do a jump here. Hopefully it's nice. Okay, cool, it's nice. Sometimes that laser decides to go in the reverse direction, and there's nothing you can do. All right, tricky jumps at the end here. 1 second. We need to avoid this. Whoop, that's okay. Oh my god, Sonic. Okay, one more, the third time's the charm. Oh, he was supposed to hit that laser. That's okay. That's okay. So we're going to have to take a slightly slower path at the end here, which means that we have to do one more bingo. But, you know, who doesn't love bingo? Unfortunately, I think we have to fill this whole board in order to proceed. Or no, we don't. We shouldn't. We just need to run into this wall. I'm thinking of another level. Okay, there we go. All right, nice. Out of there. A little tricky at the end from missing that one thing, but honestly, that could have gone way worse. Like, this level, a million things can go wrong in this level. You're lucky to get out of there alive. So this level is one of the levels of all time. This level, more than any other level in the game, just kind of happens. I always forget about this one until it's time to do it. There's just a little bit of combat, a little bit of platforming, and then it's over. Which is weird for a level so late into the game. But we need to kill these bird bots first. They take 5 hits to kill, so 1 fully charged homing attack and 1 semi-charged homing attack. And now we've got Asteroid, and now we just need to get Asteroid like into vortex form so we can leave this place, this little planetoid that we're on. But it takes a while to get there, so we're going to need to run around the planetoid and like suck up enemies in these dice blocks. And you lose your place really fast because it's like, you know, it's hard to remember where everything is on this. Yeah, the Mario Galaxy stylings for this game really led to some very confused design at times. But yeah, this level has a weird gimmick of these risers that you need fully charged vortex to get through. That's like it, really. So this level, the big gimmick is how vertical it is. So you'll see, we're just going to keep going up and up and up. I'm holding left here so that he immediately starts moving towards where I want him to go. Wait for this platform. And, like, the kill plane is super low here. Like, super, super low. You can fall for a long time before you die. If you see that, like, light up pole in the center, we're going to end up on top of that by the end of this section. That's how high up this goes. One thing about Asteroid is that it's way faster to run off of ledges with it than it is to jump. Jumping will slow you down, so ideally... There we go. We need to get to the top of that. All right, now we're gonna float to the end. Hey, get that. Okay, and we just need to hit this cloud here. Yeah, the clouds are very bouncy. They give you a lot of height. And now we're just going to float to the end here. And the capsule's coming up, so I just adjust my height a little bit so I land right on it, and we're done. That level is a very common 2:05 to sub 2 time. That's like a level that you're really not expecting a lot of crazy stuff from. Now, speaking of a level you are expecting crazy stuff from, Sky Road Zone 3. This is, first of all, banger song. One of the most difficult levels in the game, if not the most difficult 3D stage in the game. One of my favorites, though. I've grinded this stage a lot because of how much fun the movement is. But to start, we're actually on a gyro-controlled rocket. So I'm controlling Sonic by moving the 3DS left and right here. And the optimization for this section is avoiding having to jump off the rocket as much as possible. So we skip past sections where they'd want you to grab another rocket by just weaving through spikes. And here's a dragon, so we need to bait him into shooting one way, and then we'll go another. Cool. All right, my favorite movement is here. This part is awesome. Once again, jumping around the walls for a minor optimization. There's a lot of micro optimizations in this section, like something like this. So let's see. Like hitting this spring actually puts you at a faster speed than anything else. So my goal there is to hit the spring, and then, okay, let's see if we can make this. All right, tight cycle to make here. Nice. If we were slightly slower, he would have gotten stopped by the fans that were directly below him. And we don't want to double jump here because your double jump will get eaten by enemies that you can't see. All right, got to be careful here. Yeah, sometimes he just grabs this side of the wall without touching the front of the first wall, so you have to watch. All right, really tricky jump. There we go. That is a really hard jump. You can only make that jump with the speed from the speed boots, so that makes it even worse if you miss it. All right, so now we're going to be on a rocket for a little bit. The camera loves to do that weird flip there. But just like the other section, we're going to avoid jumping on other rockets as much as we can. But here, we fire the rocket straight into an enemy so that we can have another rocket ready to go. And now we're going to ride this rocket, hopefully to the end of the section, by avoiding every other rocket and obstacle in our path. By just flying on the side here, this guy is not capable of hitting us. Alright, still we need to avoid. If you get too close to another rocket, Sonic will auto jump onto it, so avoid that. Alright, auto run section. Here, we're going to grab a fire shield here, because there's going to be a lot of fire in the upcoming part. All right, some really cool movement in this part. This is one of my favorite movement sections here. All right, we're going to be grabbing, this level has not one, not two, but 3 speed capsules. So we're going to grab another one here in a second. And we're going to reach for the stars. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, you have so much speed there. It's really hard to control sometimes. That's okay. We're right back where we were, so we can do that all again. All right, so important here. This speed pad, we need to hit this, and we cannot jump or reset our speed at all because we're going way faster than we normally should right now, which lets us make this jump to skip combat. Whoops, that's okay. All right, one last speed capsule to blitz the end of the level. We're so fast, we're just straight up jumping gaps in the level. Nice. All right, there's only one more stage left in this run. We're heading to the last stage now, and that is Sky Road Extra. A level that dares to ask the question, what if Sky Road won but drill? Which is exactly what you're about to see. This was a really difficult level to learn because normally I had at least something to go off of like somebody else's footage from some of the other levels, but this one had no footage. So I routed this one completely blind, and it took a while because there's so many hidden wisp capsules that make this level way faster that you have to know about. But this level is all about drill in a kind of a weird space for it. So you need to make the 37 fan cycle here. Let's see if we can make it. Nice. This is the fastest fan cycle currently I know that you can make. This level is really, really confusing because of the amount of underground drill sections that you go through. Like, I get them so confused with each other sometimes. But it's our good old friend, Pinball Bingo. And I did not need to make a horizontal there, but that was like a perfect horizontal. So it's always when you don't need it. All right, heading into the next section here. So they changed this one a little bit. This one is really trippy because we actually have to activate the drill while upside down. So we grab a drill here, go past this section, and then activate it while upside down into the next section, which is not something that I've ever thought about before. Oh, that's okay. Oh, that's okay. We just hit a checkpoint. This game, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's very easy to die in this game, so they've put a lot of checkpoints very close to each other because they very much expected that to happen. There we go. Yeah, that one in the gap there can be annoying. Jumping over the enemies here. And back into the wall. Oops, go down. Like I said, I sometimes just forget there's so many drill sections in this level, like where everything is. And it takes a while to get back up here. We have to climb all the way back to the top of the bingo for the next one. Once again, we just need a horizontal one, though. Or, I'm sorry, a vertical one this time to get out of here. There's a drill wisp waiting for us at the top route. We just need to grab it. Nice. Bounced on that capsule. It's always hard to land on that one in the air. Hit this invincibility capsule so that we can run straight through an egg pawn. And that's just a normal slope jump right there. The only time we do a normal slope jump in the whole game. Whoa. What are you doing there? Okay. All right. Tricky ending section, but we're almost out of the level. We're almost done with the run. Time will come up when we hit this capsule at the end of the level. Oh, I just need to... There we go. We need to take the top route here. All right. Yes. Nice. We needed this. This drill wisp is very useful. Whoops. All right. Just need a horizontal here, and we're about to hit the end of the level. So just wait for it. I'll tell you when. But time's about to come up. Just about now. GG's. Wow, I exactly hit my estimate. All right, well, thanks to everybody for being here for this game. I've been running this game for almost 3 years by myself at this point now. Would love to see some more runners for it. I got a capture card partially because of this game for my 3DS. I really do love it. For all the annoying parts of this game, it's really, really fun, and I'm really happy to be able to show it here today. So, yeah, thanks, everybody.